Hi everyone, I'm Wafalango and welcome you all in Grammar in Detail. If you are new and not subscribed the channel, so please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get some more videos about grammar. Today we will be discussing the ditransitive verb refuse from active voice into passive voice. Before starting that, we will put a glance on the definition of ditransitive verbs. Di means to, transitive which can be changed into passive voice, and verb which shows an action. So those verbs which need two objects and can be changed in passive voice in how many ways? 4 ways. We can change them in how many ways? 4 ways are called the di or detransitive verbs. Ditransitive verbs need one direct object and one indirect object. What are direct object? Direct object means all non-livings and indirect object means all livings. So whatever the non-livings we are having, that is known as the direct object, and whatever the livings we have, those are known as indirect object. Why do they need two objects? If you put one of the objects, the meaning won't be clear, sometimes wrong, or it will be the meaning sometimes will be changed. So for that you need to put the both objects. Suppose if I say E refuses me. Now E refuses me what? This is not giving complete sense. And if I say E refuses a function, now E refuses a function. For whom E refuses the function? So for that you need to put the both objects, then the meaning will be clear and understandable. Like I say E refuses me a meeting, a function. This is what E refuses for me. What? A function. E refuses a function for whom? For me. Mostly we bring indirect object at the beginning, direct at the end. But if you want to shuffle the places, for that you need to put a preposition with your indirect object. Like me will be followed by a preposition for. Like I say E refuses a function for me. So these are the two ways to change them into active voice. But our main target, how we are going to change it into passive voice, that we will discuss, and we will change it with modal auxiliary verb should, and we will discuss it over here. And purple and green is not matching, so we will try to change the color of our pen, and that is what we will write about. Keep in your mind, we have already discussed about first, that was known as must, and after that we discussed in the previous lecture about ought to, and today we will be discussing about the modal auxiliary verb should. They all are used for possibility, and for possibility which have got 100%. For that we will be using the modal auxiliary verb must, and ought to for 85%, and should is today we will be discussing, that is used for 75%. Must is used for 100%, ought to 85, and should for 75. Mostly I've seen lot of these students get confusion about must, ought to, and should. We'll learn their detail in a secondary level. Must has got some 12 usages, ought to has got some 8, and should has got some 9 or 8. That is what I'll check. These all we'll be learning in secondary level, but primary level. In secondary level we have got their percentages. If someone asks you that what is the difference between must, ought to, and should, say that must is used for 100%, should is used for 75%, and ought to is in between. And you will say ought to is more stressable than must, and less stressable than must, and more stressable than should. And must is more stressable than ought to is less stressable than must, and ought to is more stressable than should, and should is less stressable than ought to and must. So this should be in your mind. In a sequence we will be discussing them. These we have already discussed. Now let's start making sentences, and we have got the simple sentences. Those sentences which make simple statement are called simple sentences. He should refuse us a meeting. He should refuse a meeting for us. Now this is what we have got two ways to change them into active voice. And passive voice, we have got the 4 rules. Before changing it when you bring e in the place of object, you make it by him. So by him here will not be called object, it will be called agent. Most of the students say that it is object, but keep in your mind, in object something is done. When subject takes the place of object, it does not mean that it is called object, it will be called agent here. And when you bring the object us in the make it I, and a meeting as it is, you bring it in the place of subject when you write it. So over there it will be called no doubt the subject, but it will not be called the doer of an action, but it will be called the title and topic subject. And what is the definition of title and topic subject? A person, place or a thing in a sentence which we are talking about. In first and second sentence we are talking about a person. In third and fourth sentence we are talking about a thing. So when we bring first and second sentence the doer of the object in the place of title subject, so by him comes at the beginning, a meeting at the end, a meeting at the beginning, by him at the end. And when you bring the direct object, the non-living in third and fourth sentence, so by him comes at the beginning, for us at the end, for us at the beginning, by him at the end. Sentences will be as followed: we should be refused by him a meeting, we should be refused a meeting by him, a meeting should be refused by him for us, a meeting should be refused for us by him. Next we have got negative sentences. Those sentences in which we deny the statement, reject the statement and refuse the statement are called negative sentences. He should not refuse us a meeting, he should not refuse a meeting for us. We should not be refused by him a meeting, we should not be refused a meeting by him. A meeting should not be refused by him for us, a meeting should not be refused for us by him. Next we have got interrogative sentences. Those sentences in which we ask question, put queries are called interrogative sentences. Should he refuse us a meeting, should he refuse a meeting for us? Should we be refused by him a meeting, should we be refused a meeting by him? Should a meeting be refused by him for us, should a meeting be refused for us by him? Next we have got formal sentences. Those sentences in which we ask questions, deny the statement and we ask them in a formal way, in a respective way. We use it with our elders, seniors, and to whom you are not close with, you will be using with them. Formal sentences you will be making in this way: should he not refuse us a meeting, should he not refuse a meeting for us? Should we not be refused by him a meeting, should we not be refused a meeting by him? Should a meeting not be refused by him for us, should a meeting not be refused for us by him? Last we have got informal sentences. Those sentences in which we ask questions, deny the statement and we ask them in an informal way, in a friendly atmosphere. We use it with youngers and juniors, and to whom you are close with, like friends, you'll be using with them. Should not form is shouldn't. Shouldn't he refuse us a meeting, shouldn't he refuse a meeting for us? Shouldn't we be refused by him a meeting, shouldn't we be refused a meeting by him? Shouldn't a meeting be refused by him for us, shouldn't a meeting be refused for us by him? So these are the sentences of ditransitive verb refuse, from active voice into passive voice with modal auxiliary verb should. Hope you got today's lecture. Wish you best of luck. See you next time with next lecture. Goodbye.